Hello everybody, welcome back. I'm the Strategy Professor. Today we're doing a little Soraka coaching action. So thank you very much to Jolty for the generous donation. I really appreciate it. I'm going to switch the vision over here. This is patch 822. After the end of Season 8, but before the preseason starts in Season 9. Yeah, and I've done a recent Soraka video with Jolty. I think within the last couple of weeks we did another one, so this will kind of be a follow-up here. If you would like a coaching session yourself, you can email me at thestrategyprofessor, all one word, at gmail.com. I'll have a link in the description. It's just $20 off stream or $25 on stream. Or if you want to become a supporting channel member via PayPal, then it's $5 off. So then it would just be $15 off stream or $20 on stream. Which I think is pretty good. Pretty good old deal. But yeah, no, there's other perks. You get access to our Discord. You get to play on Viewers Night. If I have a 30-minute dodge during streams during the week, and you have an updated PvE client, you can join that with me as we try out some new stuff while we wait. So it's just a cool, fun community. And you're also supporting education in the United States. This helps subsidize my adjunct teaching, which really doesn't pay much at all. So, always, my wife and I always appreciate any support we can get off the channel. Anyways, let's go ahead and get in here. Okay, so I like the aggression. You're pretty far ahead, obviously off of that trait there. I like that you switched back to Airy too. I think you were going Unsealed, which is a fun room. Last time we looked, and I really enjoy it on some champs, but I do think that Airy's just so, like, ridiculously strong on Soraka that you kind of have to run it. And if you just want to watch more coaching sessions, I forgot to mention that, but you don't necessarily want to commit the funds to it, then I'll have a playlist as well in the description. I think this will be like the 141st coaching session or whatever, and I have it all kind of organized by number, but then I have champion with a nice graphic so you can see what the champion is in the role. So if you're interested in learning more about Soraka, you can go through and find all the Soraka coaching sessions pretty easily if you want. Yeah, I agree, Jolty. You did get some harass. I still maintain that I think that the Q is probably better, better to max. The E is more consistent. You can't miss your E, but the Q is on a much lower cooldown. And Soraka just has so much disposable mana, typically early on. The Q costs like 40 or something. So really, she's gated most by the cooldowns. To me, the question becomes, with the harass, is how often are you landing the Qs? I think if you're landing at least 50% of your Qs, then the Q is a better investment. But that's why you'd see challenger players when E Soraka was real popular before they nerfed the enchanter items. Yeah, I flashed that a bit earlier. If you think you're going to have to flash, just go ahead and do it early. That's usually my sort of opinion on it. But, I mean, like I said, it can work, but the reasoning behind why people did Max E in the first place is not necessarily because it was, in an ideal situation the best, but because it was something they could actually land on challenger players. A lot of challenger level players are going to dodge. They're going to dodge the key. So, I believe this is silver. A lot of silver players are not going to dodge the key, most likely. Oh, you were stunned? Okay, my bad. You step on a trap over here or something, unless I assume. Anyways, like I said, that's fine. If you, if you get a lot of, you feel like you're getting a lot of mileage out of the E, if you just like the consistency of it, really nice in team fights too. If you get enough points in E, you could potentially get it off twice in a fight. The problem is, fights are over so fast these days because people aren't playing tanks. I guess your team does have a Galio, so maybe the fights will take a bit longer. Usually if something has much more than an 8-second cooldown, then it's not going off twice in a fight, though. you can hold them in the E, though, and get the double damage, and that's really good. That's really dangerous. You did dodge the Q. That was really nice dodges, but... like, if he lands any of that with no sums, I'm pretty sure you're dead. Caitlyn drops a trap on top of the stun. So, I would say it's probably not worth the risk there, just to get a little bit of extra harassment on Bran. Like, it worked out, but... it was, like, really low reward for super high risk. Program Nami's out? I didn't notice. Okay, we can have 2 donate. I don't know how much it is. I don't want to break his bank, but if it's like a reasonable price, he's willing to donate for that. Yeah, I mean, Spell Thief's is fine if you're landing consistently a lot of harass. You feel like you're getting rewards fast enough. I maybe would have stuck around to throw some more Qs in there. Since they don't have that much CC when Ahri dies. The AP early on, if you're throwing out a lot of harass, and that can work. Now, once again, you're not going to be able to leverage the AP that as much if you're relying on, like, you know, a 20-second cooldown for your harassment. I think, doesn't Equinox actually start sitting at like 24 seconds? It's like really long. Maybe it's not that long. The E. It does apply extra damage to your autos. It does make your heals a little bit stronger. Like, the meta is faster now than it was in the past, so having just the flat AP is probably more helpful now than it was maybe 6 months ago, for example. So, I mean, the main argument, I'm sure you heard this all over the place on the channel, is like the coin's going to give you the wards faster, and if the game goes a bit longer, you're going to end up getting way more money than you do off of Spell Thieves. So if it's like a 25 to 30 minute game, and having that extra, you know, 500 gold could be a really big deal. Especially on Soraka, who in many ways stacks multiplicatively, because she's a plus healing and shielding champ. Being able to get that third item is helpful, but you know, if the game's pretty much decided somewhere between 20 to 15 minutes often, then maybe Spell Thieves is better because you get the raw AP power in the mid game. Okay, that's good. I mean, Duck is right that the AP ratios aren't that great, but she has low cooldowns, so you gotta keep that in mind too. Like a 0.6 on her W, I think. It doesn't sound great, but if you can cast it every 2 seconds, then it definitely adds up. And the damage plus the extra healing that you get off of your Q is a pretty big deal. But I agree that AP doesn't scale quite as well on her as it does maybe some other champions. But nevertheless, I can see Spell Thief. So if you're getting down a lot of harass, it's going to make a meaningful change, disruption in the laning phase, right? It's going to make them take a bad back at some point and cost them, you know, a couple hundred gold early. And you can snowball off of that advantage. Yeah, they did miss everything on you. You're good at dodging those skill shots. And then Spell Thieves is worth it. if you think your team's just going to go even in the laning phase, basically, and if the game's going to last more than 25 minutes, then coin's probably better. You do also get the wards earlier. Usually you get your wards around like 10 minutes or so with coin, and that's really nice for controlling dragons. And Soraka doesn't ward quite as well as some of the other champs, just because it's so vulnerable. Like, she's so vulnerable if she gets caught out, versus something like a Rakan who can get away from almost anything. Or Janna. But wards are still nevertheless like pretty strong. Oh, staying there, staying there. I think if you hit him with a Q and got that slow, looks like your team's probably gonna get it anyways. But I mean, Kayn was middle, so. Yeah. Ha! Nice. That was good. But yeah, I mean, you're definitely getting an appreciable advantage here, so certainly is an argument to be made for getting that Spell Thieves here. Alright, what are you working? Ionian's okay. I mean, my thing with Ionian on Soraka is that, like, her core ability in the mid-game is her heal or W, and it's already on, like, a 2-second cooldown, so you don't get a ton of value out of Ionian that you would with a champion that has longer cooldowns. Like Rakan, or maybe even Janna. Their shield's on, like, a 10-second cooldown once you max it. I might pick, if you want to try to ward better, maybe mobility boots there, or a defensive boot's a good choice. I mean, pretty much, if they don't kill you in the mid-game, you're going to win the fight, because you're just going to heal everybody. So I might actually go for something like Mercury Treads here. Because you're most likely to take damage from either Ahri or Brand in a team fight. I don't know, there's an argument for getting Tabby for Kayn, but Kayn's pretty far behind. Huh. Yeah, it was sweet. Yikes. Wow, Infinity Edge Rush, first item? She's looking at the wrong guide. I don't think that's ever been a thing, even before the reworked item on Kai'Sa. Jesus. So she's basically paying... See, 70 AD is worth, like, maybe 2,400 gold. I think Infinity Edge is still 3,400, so she's paying 1,000 gold for that 10% passive. Yeah, especially 10% of your critical strike damage. You have no critical strike yet. Yikes. Paying 1,000 gold for double passives that don't do anything. Okay. Well, I mean, that's something to keep in mind, is you're basically a lot less strong than it appears. Pretty much. So they're actually stronger than you, I think. Now, Kai'Sa does, like, her abilities do a lot more than Caitlyn's abilities at this point in the game. But that's something to definitely notice, because it might feel like, you know, you're completely just destroying this lane, right? She's 6-1, you're massacring people. But basically, it's like she has 3 less kills. Maybe even worse than that. She's like gifting the enemy 1,000 gold.
Shut down.
So that can feel a little weird if you feel like, man, we should completely dominate, like that sequence earlier where Galio popped in and killed you, where she went in really hard and you were trying to help her. Like, under normal circumstances, a 6-in-1 Kaisa with a Storm Razor or something like that would absolutely murder that Caitlyn at that point. But because she's wasting 1,000 gold, that, you know, makes it a lot more of a dicey commitment. So you gotta tab in every now and then, just kind of take stock of what your team's doing, what the enemy team's doing, and just sort of assess. Because remember, it's like, it's the items that change the power level, right? Not the gold. If someone gets the wrong items, that has a tremendous effect. Especially something that's that wrong. You know, that can have a tremendous effect on their overall power level. You know, if the Lee Sin on your team is like 10-0 and rushes Death Cap or something with its gold, you're gonna have some issues. So she's going Storm Razor's second item after Infinity Edge. So she's still not gonna have, like, the double crit, still not gonna matter. Okay, that sounds fine too. I could, you know, just, like I said, probably just give me the weekend and I can look over and see sort of what else. It'd be nice to have a skin. I'll see if there are any supports that I played that are, I don't really have a lot of skins for. Still not entirely sure about this Fiend's Rush. So I feel like your health, really need the health regen. Although they don't have a ton of CC, but like the Kales can still be really good. Against like a Brand Stun or Ari Charm or something like that, and then you would have some more health regen.
Blue team's turret has been destroyed.
I think I've got Star Guardian Soraka. Hey Darian, this is Silver, it's a coaching session. That's fine, I can find something that's 1350.
Red team's turret has been destroyed.
I think I've got Mukau Alley. In fact, I know I do. I mean, you do get a little bit of extra mileage out of Frost Eye in terms of Athene. Maybe even just like Redemption plus Ardent would be alright here. I don't know. Seeing what this Kate got though, Ardent probably not a good choice here, but Redemption's probably pretty legit. Coaching the Soraka in this game, yeah. Just talking about Kate's item or Kai'Sa's itemization, because that can affect like whether or not Kai'Sa or whether or not Soraka should be committing to these fights, or whether she should be building items that help Kai'Sa. So if your AD carries, you know, on point, building the right items, and is very strong, you know, Ardent Sensor's pretty common on Soraka. But if your AD carry is just doing a turkey, then maybe just going for team fight stuff like Redemption Locket or Redemption Mikael or something like that might be better. Catch these hands, brother. Pretty nice redemption there. That's a pretty good positioning too back here. Range could be an issue with Soraka. She's only got I think 400 or 450 range on that W.
Shut down.
Yeah, Locket does get a lot of value here because they do have, like, against Brand, anytime Locket's going to be pretty good, so go in just like a classic Redemption Locket. The problem is, like, Soraka scales so well with plus healing and shielding that Locket not having any of that is kind of rough, but it is a very good combo with Redemption because, you know, obviously the Locket shield can hold people up long enough for Redemption to hit, which is nice. And then the plus healing and shielding off of Locket does affect Redemption shield too. So yeah, I might go like Redemption, Mikael's Locket, something like that. I mean, Athene's is cool and everything, but you're probably not putting out that much damage. I mean, if you're throwing down like Qs and stuff consistently in fights, then maybe Athene's can get a bit more value out of it, but I don't know, it's okay. But as we discussed earlier, like her AP ratios are all right on her, but they're not like insane. And like plus healing and shielding is so strong on her. I don't know. I'd have to run the math. Maybe, maybe Athene's is better than I think, but you have to really be throwing down a lot of Qs. Y'all don't need to be doing that. There's no way. Baron's taking like 0 damage. There's a fight going on mid lane. Definitely, yeah, just get off that. Yeah, I wouldn't have even gone along with that. I would have just said no, just ping it back, and if he wants to die, that's fine. Whoa, okay. I would say you're like 100% there. I wouldn't do some sometimes. Yeah, Ardent's good. I mean, that's really common to do Ardent. The problem is, like, this build... I mean, she does have a really nice score at this point, and she is starting to get crit, finally. Redemption Lock, I think is what it's called. Nice, good job, Darian. That's great, buddy. It's getting rocky with Pain, even though his KDA is not good. He's still just like evaporating y'all right now. So I think like some kind of defensive boot would have probably been good. I feel like you just have to do that at Soraka, just because you don't have a lot of mobility and like people come for you. Like you have a bullseye on your head, and you have to get so close to the action. You know, with that 400 range heal versus something like a Janna Shield's like 800 range, a Nami Wave's like 725. You can play so far back with those champions. But like with Soraka, you gotta be a bit closer. So you're just gonna get hit by incidental stuff, even if you're trying to position well a lot of times. You might get hit with a brand bounce or like part of an Ahri Foxfire or something. I mean, that's just a testament to how ridiculous Kai'Sa is. This guy's going, like, almost literally the worst item you can find on her first. With Infinity Edge, he's, like, wasting 1,000 gold and can still take over just off of his base damage, pretty much. I mean, like, just buying 2 BF swords would have been more efficient. Double entendre. How do you spell that? Almost 420. I think Roach ended Plat 1 or Plat 2. He was Diamond 5 for a while there, earlier on. He went on a little break too, from what I remember. Kind of in the middle of the season. Oh. And he waited out that barrier. Okay, that was good. Good to get out of there.
Blue team's turret has been destroyed.
Lock it.
Red team has slain the dragon.
Darius is just kind of losing his mind. He's really far ahead. Yeah, try to rein your team in if you can. I mean, I know this is a thing where people think like the game is over. And a lot of times you still win even if someone kind of ends like that, but try as best you can to Try to get them to rank like, hey guys, let's focus up, let's close this game out. I mean, people might blame you for saying something like that. They might, you know, blow you off, but just try. No, ping it back. No, don't. It's gonna get bad. Isa is cleaning everyone up. Maybe she just kills everybody. The problem is they're getting a lot of shutdown gold here. Hey, what's up, Grey Graves? Yeah, we're doing a coaching session. I think we're probably nearing the end. I don't want to pull up the bar, you know, no spoilers, that type of thing, but we'll get back to another ranked game here in just a second. What do we got? Okay. Yeah, just sticking with these items and getting just control wards and stuff is fine. Baron's up in 40 seconds. I'll probably start positioning around Baron. Like, the issue is now, if y'all would have focused up, you probably could have had this tower and bottom inhibitor down. Don't fight, Kai'Sa's not here. But now they're, I can't see, I don't see the ball on their inhibitor, but either way, you don't have as much map pressure as you could. Yeah, obviously, this is always a thing that I mention in most coaching sessions. It's like, you can't control the other people, like, fully, but if you just make suggestions, like, suggestions can be very powerful. Even something like, hey, let's focus up.
Unstoppable.
Just say, hey, let's focus up. Or like, don't fight, Kai'Sa's getting red. Even though your team's up 20 kills, you have an inhibitor and like you're trying to prep for Baron.
Shut down.
Hashtag gotta have that red buff. She didn't even get red buff. What? What? She's just randomly farming this jungle? I thought she went over there to at least get red buff. Yeah, now he's in their base. Try to get him out of there. Like, if he's not going to get out, maybe see if your team can... I mean, he does get a couple of kills there. Maybe see if your team can play around Baron or something. Tag. Okay. I mean, I guess y'all just win off the power of Darius being really fed, or Kai'Sa being really fed, and them just like walking into him. But, yeah. So, I don't know. That game was definitely devolving into a problem with Soraka. And that's kind of like an issue with Soraka in general in this meta. Is like, if everyone's just kind of running around and it's just clown fiesta the whole time, you can get picked off a lot. Kind of like what happened with Kayn there. Even though Kayn was pretty far behind that game, he still has enough, you know, to kill an isolated Soraka. So, you know, try to shot call, try to get your team ready. Just like ping Baron, say, hey, Baron's up in 30 seconds, help me ward. So just like ping Baron a lot, type help me ward, ping your wards, ping the assist button over there, you know, just get them rounded up over there. Like how this should have gone down ideally was, you know, once you guys got this inhibitor, you reset, got the tier 2 tower, tried to make a play, grouped up as 5 for the second inhibitor, and then after you get that, or at least apply some more pressure by getting one tower down, then you could rotate up here. You know, maybe 45, 30 seconds before Baron shows up. And, you know, just get vision control secured and either grab Baron or let Galio or Darius start a fight. So, I mean, once again, you know, if Darius is just going to run it down middle, you can't do anything about that. But I think you can at least ping and, like, try to get them rounded up a little bit. But overall, good game. You know, we talked about the itemization a little bit more. I think if they have a strong AoE champ like Brand, that getting Locket in there somewhere with Redemption is probably a good thing. Ardent Sensor can be good. You know, no, I took away Sadie's little place where she likes to lay. Okay, let me. You want to get on the chair, Sadie? Is that what it is? Okay. I think that's something to consider. So, and the rest of it, I think, was pretty good. There were a couple times where I think maybe you could have stuck around in the fight a little bit more, where you kind of left, but you were low a couple of times, and you didn't have any like health regen for a while there because Athenes doesn't have any health regen on it. And you didn't get a water dragon this time like you did last game. So overall, I think that's pretty strong. I'm still, you know, you can keep the E if you want. I'm still on the you should be using Q if you can hit like 50% of them. But anyways, that's going to be it for this coaching session. Overall, pretty good job. Just work on those things we talked about. Anyone else out there, once again, who would like a coaching session, just email me at thestrategyprofessor@gmail.com. We can talk about it and set that up. If you want to see more coaching sessions, I'll have a link in the description, a playlist. You can go through and watch those. If you want to join the stream sometime, it's a great time, really fun, chill, awesome community. It starts around 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time most nights. And we have lots of other content on the channel, too. We have a lot of guides, and we're going to try to start adding a lot more of those in. I know I haven't done a lot of guides in the last few months or so, but I'm going to try to get back on that train, add some more guides. I still do tier list for every patch. I have playlists for all kinds of individual champions, so if you want to watch all Soraka or watch all, you know, Zyra or Janna or whatever, I'll have playlists for that on there. So just tons and tons of content. I usually release 2 or 3 videos a day, so I'm always trying to bring you some fresh, new stuff to enjoy. So that's going to be it. Thank you very much. Be sure to leave a like and subscribe if you enjoy the content, and I'll see you next time.